Hey guys, in this video I'm going to go through step by step 3 examples of how to solve exponential equations that are in quadratic form. And so looking at part A, the first thing we need to do is rewrite this equation so we can have positive powers. And so we can rewrite this as e to the x minus and then 4 over e to the x is equal to 0. E to the power of minus x is the same as 1 on e to the x. From here, what we need to do is get rid of the denominator. And so multiplying both sides by e to the x, we're going to get e to the x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. We now have a quadratic equation in the form of difference of perfect squares. We know this because we have a variable or a function that is squared minus another number. From here, it's easier to let a equal e to the x. This is going to make it easier to solve for the quadratic equation. And so subbing this into the equation, we're going to get a squared minus 4 is equal to 0. And now we solve for a. And so factorizing this, we're going to get a minus 2, a plus 2 is equal to 0. Solving for a is going to be 2 or a is going to be minus 2. We know that a is equal to e to the x, and so therefore this means that e to the x is equal to 2 or e to the x is equal to minus 2. And now we can solve for x. If e to the x is equal to 2, then taking the log e of both sides, we're going to get x is equal to log e2. The next solution, we've got e to the x is equal to minus 2. We know that e raised to any number is always going to be a positive, and so therefore e to the x is equal to minus 2 is going to have no solutions. And so the only x value that's going to satisfy the equation for part A is going to be x is equal to log e2. Part B. To solve for x, the first thing we want to do is have e raised to a positive power. And so we can rewrite the equation as e to the x minus 15 on e to the x minus 2 is equal to 0. Multiplying both sides by e to the x to get rid of the denominator, we're going to get e to the x squared minus 15 minus 2 times e to the x is equal to 0. From here, we let a equal e to the x. And so subbing a into the equation, we're going to get a squared minus 15 minus 2a is equal to 0. Rearranging this, this is the same as a squared minus 2a minus 15 is equal to 0. And now we have a easier quadratic equation to solve. And so factorizing this, we're going to get a minus 5 times a plus 3 is equal to 0. And so solving for a is equal to 5 or a is equal to minus 3. And because we let a is equal to e to the x, this means that e to the x is equal to 5 or e to the x is equal to minus 3. And now solving for x, we take the log of both sides, which cancels the e on the left hand side, and so x is going to be log e of 5. And if e to the x is equal to minus 3, we know that e raised to any power is a positive number, and so this one's going to have no solutions. And so for part B, x is going to equal log e5. Part C. To solve for x, we want e raised to a positive power. And so we can rewrite this as e to the x plus 2 on e to the x is equal to 3. To get rid of the denominator, we multiply both sides by e to the x, and so we're going to get e to the x squared plus 2 is equal to 3 times e to the x. Whenever we're solving for an equation, we want one side to equal to 0. And so moving 3 times e to the x to the left-hand side, we're going to get e to the x squared minus 3 times e to the x plus 2 is equal to 0. And now we can let a equal e to the x. And so subbing in a into the equation, we're going to get a squared minus 3 times a plus 2 is equal to 0. And now we can solve for a. Factorizing this, we're going to get a times minus 2 times a minus 1 is equal to 0. And so solving for a is equal to 2 or a is equal to 1. And since a is equal to e to the x, we can say that e to the x is equal to 2 or e to the x is equal to 1. And now we can solve for x. And so for the first solution, taking the log of both sides, we're going to get x is equal to log e2. And for the next solution, taking the log of both sides, this is going to be x is equal to log e of 1. And we know that log e of 1 is equal to 0. And so x is going to be 0. And so for part C, we're going to get two solutions, when x is equal to log e2 and when x is equal to 0. If you guys want to practice and learn how to answer exam-style questions related to solving exponential equations, then log into the Maths Methods Club, and then from the main topics, select Algebra. And then from the subtopics, select Logs and Exponentials. Then go to the question type and select Tech Free. Here, you're going to find official exam questions testing your understanding on solving exponential equations. That's it for this video. Good luck, and I'll see you guys in the next video.